What's up, everybody, and welcome to Pillow Talk, Moment with the Mobleys. I am Johnny Mobley Jr.,
And I'm Deirdra Mobley,
and we are an ordinary couple.
with extraordinary purpose.
Bam! We about to jump right back in it. You know what it is. We talking about a good subject. We got a good one today.
Do we?
Yeah, we got a good one.
What we talking?
We talking about money,
Johnny.
So this is what we talking about, money in a marriage.
Money. Oh Jesus.
So what we gonna do is we don't talk about money like that really no more because we got pretty good systems in place. So we just kind of roll with it. So y'all probably gonna hear some real transparent stuff.
It's not as intense as it used to be.
No.
But yeah.
So let's go back.
Let's go back
A little bit.
Let's go back.
So anytime you have issues in the family and your marriage, one thing they always say is it's always communication, sex, and money.
Okay.
I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. Communication, sex, and money. Because if you can't talk about the sex, then you can't pay me for what I need to help you with.
What?
I don't know what that was. Anyway, listen. So, as we move on, we're gonna go back a little bit in time.
But how much in time are we going back?
Way
baby?
back.
To how we've grown.
Back in them 90s.
In these in this marriage, in this relationship.
So I'm gonna ask you right off the rip.
Okay.
What was money, finances, credit, all that? What did that mean to you? What type of value did that have to you back in the day when we first got married?
None. Just worked and made it. Worked and made it and paid bills. And so it wasn't really, I guess I would say it really wasn't important. I worked, made the money, we paid bills, we lived our lives. You know, it wasn't a big, oh, well, let's talk about money and how it's going to impact our future. And, you know, do you know what your credit score is, Johnny? Because I don't know what mine is. Or you want to know what mine is?
We taught them kids that, though.
Or you want to know what I have on my credit or what I don't have on my credit? It really wasn't something that
So that's a conversation
of great importance.
That I really, 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 truly believe that any couple that just meeting, getting together, y'all getting ready to talk, that got to be one of the things you talk about. Because the last thing you want to find out is some foolishness once after y'all get married and y'all got this big dream. That goes back to the expectation thing. That's an untalked about expectation. We need to have a session on untalked about expectations, to where people don't say what the expectation is,
unspoken?
Unspoken expectations.
But you just made a new word, untalked about.
Unspoken.
Yes, baby.
Unspoken. Okay. That's a word. Don't make me look it up. That's a word. Don't do that. Unspoken expectations. So what that is I never talked to you about this one thing.
Right, but this is
what
I expect.
I react as if we had a full-fledged conversation about it,
right,
when the stuff don't happen the way I think it should happen.
But I just told you a minute ago, there was absolutely nothing that we discussed about credit scores. There was nothing that we talked about as far as what's on them or what's not on them, or how we about to balance this checkbook or this account.
Never none of that.
Or we didn't. We didn't.
So
I just knew I loved you and I wanted to be with you.
So back in the day, we just worked, made the check do what it did, and kept it moving. Never thought about building, none of that stuff. Never really talked about credit scores. So we actually found out. Yeah, we was trying to live. We was husband and wife, something we never did before, and we had all these kids, and we was just scratching our head every now and then. Like, what? We
wouldn't talk about okay, well, we have to open a savings account, honey. Yeah. Whatever. We were just, it barely got in the bank.
So I think our first experience with credit together was when we went off to Charleston, was it Charleston or Columbia?
Yeah, and we talked about this in an
Charleston,
earlier episode. We went to Charleston
South
and got that
Carolina.
TV.
And got that TV. And we walked in, and them people said, "We got a TV for sale. Do you want it?" And we was like, "Nah, we ain't got no money for that." They was like, "Money? You don't need no money.
We just need to check your credit.
Let me check your credit. Oh, you get anything you
You're
want
right.
in the store." I
Because
was like,
little did
what?
we know, that our credit was magnificent,
So we
spectacular.
had no idea. So we were just acting ignorant after that. We were just walking around saying, "Yep, let me get that. Check my credit. I'm good. Yep, let me get that. Check my credit. I'm good." So
We had a couple credit cards, I think.
yeah,
We had a gas card, I believe,
yeah, we had a gas card, a
and
couple of
then maybe
things.
another credit card.
So here's the thing. When we were younger, because we wasn't really taught that that having those things, you got to have it's responsibility that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
So being young and working hard, and I know some of y'all feeling me, working hard every day and coming home and paying the bills and buying the food to eat and all this other stuff, and then having little or nothing left. Sometimes you feel like you deserve stuff. So what you do is you get the stuff you deserve, you feel like you deserve, and then you get it. And then somewhere between the time you get it with your credit and get it home, you just feel like it was a gift. And now the TV up in your house, and the people calling you about this bill you ain't paid, because they told you got 60 days before you have to pay this bill. And they calling you about the bill, and you getting angry. You get that whole attitude on the phone. Like they gave you they gave you the TV, and now you got an attitude because they calling you about the TV. Am I just talking about us?
Yeah, you're talking about us.
Okay, yeah. So that's what it was. We had an attitude because people called us about the TV. And we told them we gonna pay y'all when we get the money. Now we ain't got the money. Stop calling us.
It wasn't a TV though, baby.
What it was?
It was a stereo.
They kept calling saying it was a TV. That's right. No, it was. It was
No,
the TV.
it was a TV. They kept calling us saying it was a stereo. Yep.
So
you're right. But I think that was, like you said, that was our first, I think, experience with realizing that our credit was all right.
Yeah, but we just didn't. We just made careless decisions after that because at that moment we were young, and we had babies straight out of high school, and we worked from day one. So whenever we had a chance to do something,
we did it.
We did it.
We weren't thinking about, let's take $20 out of this check and put it in the savings account.
No.
And then let's just make sure we're paying tithes and offering, and then let's pay the bills that are due.
No, wasn't doing none of that.
Let's go to the grocery store.
Wasn't doing none of that. How much money we got? 35. Take 15, put it on the side. That's for the gas. Let's get this other money. Let's go to the store. They got some baby back ribs on sale. We about to grill. We gonna get us a 12-pack of beer. You want some what this stuff you used to drink?
Mind your business.
What that stuff you drink? Ice.
Smirnoff.
Ice.
In the freezer with the
And
little slithers on it.
y'all
with the little slithers in it.
You and these slithers. That what she used to drink. But let me tell you the funny part about it. My wife never called alcohol. She always called them, what you call them, honey?
Spirits.
Spirits.
And I never even thought about it.
She was prophetic, saying it was spirits.
It was the devil. However, but that's what we did.
We did.
That's what we did. We
had fun.
We had fun. We took our kids out of town, and we took them everywhere we went. So it was nothing for us to pick up on the weekend and go get a room and go out of town and wherever and just go and have a good time, enjoy. That was when we made our fun, because we would go in the pool wherever we were staying at. 9 times out of 10 they had a free breakfast bar.
We tried to find one with a free breakfast bar.
Exactly. So we kind of made it happen with what we had.
Right.
But little did we know, like, those conversations needed to be had.
Absolutely.
About money, about the responsibility of it, about saving for the future,
we did none of that.
We did absolutely none of that.
And I'm gonna tell you the crazy thing about it. So, I've never talked to my parents about why we've never had that conversation. I know my parents made sure that we were taken care of, and I the weekend thing, I never knew what that was, because from day one we always went on 7-day, 8-day, 10-day vacations. So every time we went on a vacation, we was out there, like all the way live,
Cause
Disney
y'all was
World,
bullshit.
whatever. Well, you call it what you like. Jay made sure
Y'all was
his family
bullshit.
was taking a vacation. So of
Amen.
course, that's what I was building up to do for us. But I saw my dad work. He worked. He went to work. He was in the military. He was National Guard. He was active duty. Then he was National Guard. So I just saw him work, and that's in my mind. I said that's what I have to do. So that's what was my plan. I would just go work.
But you know, I think the attitude about money it came from what we experienced as growing up, and we brought those attitudes or those
Absolutely.
habits or lack of into our marriage.
Yeah.
Now, I would venture to say that I did see my mom balancing her checkbook. I saw all that, but I was like, okay, but what you doing? Like
You
what?
asked for that?
What? Like I used to look like, okay, well, what are you doing?
She never.
And I'm even she would say, okay, well, I got to balance my checkbook, but not even realizing because my mom, she made it happen.
Yeah.
We saw her work sometimes 2 jobs to make sure that we got what we needed and stuff like that. So she was like on a consistent, because of course, I would visit my dad, and I thought he was just, he was just the richest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pop.
Pop was just,
Yeah, Pop.
I thought he was
Pop had that.
was the wealthy on top of the wealthy.
His pockets.
Was deep.
Pop pockets was deep. Pop pockets.
You couldn't
was deep.
tell me that my daddy was not the wealthiest man on the planet.
He was.
But it's just,
He is.
like I said, I know. Looking back now, or when I was older, I could think about the seeing my mom balance her checkbook and make sure that. And when I tell you, I called myself trying to do it at some point. Once
Yeah.
we got a checking
And we
and a
was trying to
savings.
do it. I remember that.
But she was a stickler for making sure that she wrote down everything, in that column that started the account balance.
Yeah.
And when she got paid, she added that as a credit. And then when she wrote these checks, she put those in the debit column. And when I tell you, she was a stickler for balancing her checkbook. But like I said, that was never a thought of mine, because we were doing what we needed to do to maintain, to live. So in order to balance a checkbook, you got to have something in it.
And
So
now we see it as, I would use the word, we were doing what we had to do to get by with whatever we needed. Our reach wasn't very long. We dreamed, but like in past sessions, we dreamed about microwaves, and so we reached those type things. So once the dream started getting bigger, we just had to change it. So right now in our life, what we know is it's not all about how much money you make. It's about how you manage it.
yeah, and we had no managing experience
Absolutely
at all.
not.
All.
We were literally spending every dime we had, and then holding on to $2 before the next check came.
But then remember, okay, so if you all out there how many of you, I guess and I'm talking to the married couples right now, so I know when we first, got to that point to where we were trying to become a little bit more responsible with our money, it would be, we would sometimes, I remember there was a time where you would handle the bills.
Right.
And you would write out what needed to be paid, what the balance was on the light, the water, the car, what the car payment was, what the car insurance was, and everything like that. And we would keep it in a notebook. And I don't know how many women would concur with me on this, but you were the type of bill payer that you wanted to pay off the balance for everything and leave us, and then have enough money to go buy us maybe a little bit of groceries for the week. But we literally had no money left when you got finished.
I'm gonna tell
when
you,
you had finished paying everything off.
So let me tell you what my mindset behind that was. Because we had what we had, most of everything, and at that time I thought I needed to keep everything. So it wasn't nothing going to be cut off. We wasn't doing that. But while I pay the bills, my whole thing is, and most men can agree with me with this. I don't want nobody looking for me or my family for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So what I got to do is pay Georgia Power, who was it then, Hardgray or whoever, got to pay them the light bill because they don't need to be calling my wife talking about where the money at.
It
We
was
finna cut your
Palmetto
light.
Electric.
Well, whoever
Yep.
it was, we ain't want them calling talking about you need to pay that money. We coming to cut your lights off. So that's what I did not want those phone calls.
And I completely understand. However, ladies, my mentality for paying the bills, especially when the money was short, was I'm about to call and make these beautiful arrangements with the Georgia Power or Palmetto
And
Electric.
I could not
He could not, y'all.
stand.
He could not stand for me to call and make arrangements for stuff. But I was like, babe, if we're 2 months behind. So let's just pay the past due balance on this, and this.
Could not.
And then we'll have money left to go to the grocery store and then a little stash to get some gas to make sure that we good, for the week.
And then I'll come home from work on a Friday evening and I walk in the door and the house clean up, it's extra clean tonight. And, food already cooking and I'm thinking, well, what's going on? Well, baby, we gonna play a little music tonight, and we gonna spend some time with the kid. Okay,
Was
but
the light off?
No, the lights wasn't off.
Oh.
The game on. Let me check the game out real quick. Well, guess what? I can't check no game out because the cable off.
Oh, the cable was off.
And so now the cable off. So
Jesus.
the whole weekend we ain't got no cable. What I'm at the house doing?
Spending quality time with your wife and your kids.
I can do that now. Then I want to watch the game. Give me a bill and let me watch the game. But anyway, so
that's only because I probably forgot to make the arrangement with the cable people.
So this is where we're at now. So as we move forward, I started making a little bit more money. The checks was a little heavier, so we was doing some other stuff. Credit wasn't completely shot, so we was making some moves. And I remember when the big screen TVs came out, but there was the one with the butt on it. The big one. It was like the old school console TV, but then they took it and made it flat, and they made it big with the little bottom on it with the speakers. So, everybody that was coming in, and I wanted a TV. So this is the time to where I know a lot of men they'll probably be like, yeah, man, I've been there. So I work. I ain't really, getting nothing. I did my occasional whatever. Came home. Deirdra and the girls had all the money. Y'all do what you need to do. My thing was, do not leave out of my house. I'm not looking like somebody. Y'all got to be tight and right and let's get it. So Deirdra made sure that always was the case. And then one day, the TV was coming out, and at that time, I think the TV was some stupid price, like $4,000 or something stupid like that. But we never seen nothing like that before, so we was like, okay, I'm gonna wait till it go on sale. So it was about a year or something later, and they went on sale, man.
We was like, we gonna wait till it go on sale?
No, I was gonna wait till it go on sale.
Oh, okay.
So what happened was, it went on sale. It was down to like $1,200 or something.
And what happened, baby?
I called my wife. I said, baby, I'm in the store.
I'm in Best Buy. Was that night?
They got this even. No, that was further along.
That was further along.
That was this
when
TV
you just went and bought it. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
all right.
I need you to.
No, go ahead. Tell
I
the
don't
people
need
the
you
story.
to have that on
No,
you.
no.
Get
Tell
that
the
up off you, man.
Tell the story.
All right.
Okay.
So we just get that up off you. I felt it. I felt a little sauce.
That was in your spirit.
No,
baby.
no. It was a little.
There's
it was
no
a little
sauce.
pew pew.
No,
it was
no,
a little pew.
no.
Anyway,
no, Papa.
I'm gonna do this.
Go ahead.
So I said, and it's the craziest thing because once we started counseling couples, I heard so many men say this, and I just so disagreed with it, and I was like, and Deirdra finally came to me. She was like, Joker, that was you.
Well, tell them what you're talking about, baby.
So I said, babe, we was in Best Buy. I said, hey, I was in Best Buy. I said, hey, this TV on sale. No, this wasn't Best Buy. This was someplace else.
Okay.
But I said the TV's on sale for $1,200. So I want to go ahead and try to, And I think we was at a rent to own something. So I was like, I'm gonna get the TV, and then I'm gonna.
And did I say okay, or I said
no?
Let's
you
talk
was like,
about
let's
it.
talk about it.
Yeah,
Let's
let's talk
hold
about
up,
it.
hold up, and let's talk
Let's
about
talk
it.
about it.
Now in my mind, I'm thinking she said let's talk about it. She probably just make me wait a couple of days and I go get it. So while she said let's talk about it, they was already I was signing the paperwork, going to get the TV.
Say that
delivered.
again. Say that again.
I said I was signing the paperwork,
okay.
going to get the TV delivered.
Right.
So the TV showed up at the house.
So he didn't plan on having a discussion with me?
The TV was showed up at the house, and I had my macho on. So, you know, I walked to the TV, walked to the front door, opened the door. I'm like, hey, how y'all doing?
You had your macho on?
TV go right over there. And Deirdra was looking like, you know what she said. She was like, Anna, what you doing? Why that here? I said, well, I bought the TV for the family because this is what living life is. I work hard. I'm a man. I work hard for my money. And what you ain't finna do is tell me I buy something every now and then. I work hard. I don't get nothing. So I'm getting this. It sounds crazy right now.
It sounds crazy to him because
it
he
sounds
did
crazy
say that.
Right now.
And guess what? There was no loving. There was none.
Oh, she cut everything
Absolutely
off.
none.
And I did not understand because I was mad because that night we was watching the movie on the TV. So I'm like, we good. She watching the TV. It's everything good.
Yep.
And then we got in the bed and then she socks. She had the camo stuff on, the helmet. I was like, what is you doing?
Because we never had the conversation about that TV.
And you was tight with me for a little while.
Yeah.
For a little while.
Because we never had a conversation.
We never had the conversation because you was still at that point to where when I said something, if it got a little too, you know, you do your little cry thing. And
no, but that wasn't even it. The point in that, and I know that we know that now.
Yeah.
Because that was a long time ago. But the point in that was, why call me? Why take the time to call me? Why take the time to say, hey, babe, they're coming out with this TV. And my words to you were, okay, well, let's talk about it. And let me give y'all some insight on something. Why we eventually in our marriage, we put things in place where we would say, okay, so if we're going to spend over a certain amount, we would actually call each other and, you know, say something about the purchase or say, hey, babe, this is on sale. You know, I want to go ahead and, you know, reach out and get this. And by this time, you all, I think for the most part, I was handling the bills at this point. And if I wanted to get something that was, you know, I'm thinking the number we first started with was like, if something is over like $100, I think is a number that rings out to me. We would actually call each other and say, hey, babe, you know, I see such and such and I really want to go ahead and get it. And for the most part, we were on a, you know, at a good place and on a kind of on a level field.
I did that and that
and
just
he
kaboom.
did that, y'all, and that just
blew up
turned me
everything,
sour.
Boom.
Yeah, but
she was hot with me.
He had his
and
TV
my words were,
I work hard.
I work hard. I take care of y'all. So don't shut me down when I want to get something that I want. Now, and I said that this is wrong. So let me tell you how I knew it was wrong when I was saying what I was saying. Because just like she said, if I didn't think nothing was wrong with it, I'd have just got the TV and brought TV home. I didn't. I called her. So that was already me saying that I know I can't be buying this because we put a set of rules in place for us to, you know, kind of stay in our spot. So when I actually did that, I was wrong all the way around on it. It wasn't nothing. The whole speech where I work hard and all this, all that was just defense.
Yep.
So,
that was your defense.
You know, and it happened one other time, and this was when I was in Best Buy. Got in Best Buy during the holidays or something, and them people, they get you on the intercom. The people
they
said,
get him on the intercom.
The people
y'all.
said, this is what they said. They said,
what they say? Something about
we got 5 more 42-inch TVs back here on sale.
Yep.
We letting them go, and it was so stupid, probably like $80 or $90 or something. Look, and I was right there. I got the TV and went to the front. And I told Deirdra, that was the same conversation. Hey, I'm in Best Buy. They got a sale right now. These people selling these TVs, the 42, they're like $90. They said it's going to be gone like in 15 minutes. And you know what she said?
Babe, let's talk about it. Come home and let's talk about it.
I said, man, I can't talk about everything. I got to get this. This is a hot deal. You talking about talk about it. By the time we talk about it, it's going to be gone. I ain't got time to play play with you. I said, okay. I hung up the phone. Click. I was in the line.
But needless to say, y'all, he didn't say all of that on the phone to me. He said, okay. And I know he was sounding disappointed, but I was like, you, Joker, you are just not finna sit out here and go out here and be buying TVs on top of TVs. Just a side note, y'all, my husband is an electronics man.
I
He
am.
loves TVs. He loves the picture. He loves for the picture to be crisp and clear. He loves a good yeah, the sound is even better. The sound is even more
surround
important.
sound.
He wants surround
Everything.
sound.
I want it
with
to
the
be
people
like I'm right
looking like
there.
they about to walk off of the screen, just that real.
I need it to be everything
That
right
he
there.
wants it
Everything.
to be. So he was excited about it, and y'all, he told me, okay, when I said let's talk about it, and I want y'all to know that we never talked about it, at least not before he walked into the house.
And let me tell
with
you
that
how
TV.
she did it. Let me tell you how she did it. Cause I came out the door, and I think she was with one of the girls, or she was with one of your friends or something. I was supposed to pick her up, and the TV was in the back of the truck, on the floor. And you said,
I don't remember what the scenario was.
I
but
know. I went and got
brought
the TV.
the TV.
I did.
You did.
So
You did.
let's fast forward. We go fast forward. So we began tightening up stuff and getting stuff, and then we began to be called on by friends and other people to ask questions about marriage and how we did and how we got through some things, and we began to talk about it. And then I remember having this one conversation with this one couple, and y'all, it was like it was like it was me basically. It was me.
It's like you were looking in the mirror.
Yeah, it was like the wife was saying, "Look, Joker, basically, I need you to tell me you love me and take me out and finesse me and do all this other stuff." And and he was one of them cats. He'll work. He a straight workaholic. So he working every time he get a chance. He paying bills. He buying stuff for his family. Making sure everybody good. They got a lifestyle they living. And I think in some kind of ways the wife wanted to keep her lifestyle, but she wanted her husband as well. So he wasn't trying to hear that. He was like, I ain't got time to be around here hug up on you and stuff. I come through, give you a little, and I'm gonna keep moving because I got stuff I gotta do. I gotta pay these bills.
I'll come through and do what?
Give you a little bit, and then I got to go.
A little bit of what?
You know what? You know what?
Don't be trying to skimp over that real fast.
A little bit.
That's
important.
important.
And then I got to keep it going. So this dude said, love you. Every time you drive that truck, I love you. Every time you open this door to this big house, I love you. Every time you be able to do this and do that, I love you. I got love all around here. You use all my love every day, all day. So I don't know what you talking about. And it was a absolute humbling experience to me. Because as he said that, every single time he said that, it was snatching something from out of his wife. Every single time. Her facial, her body, everything was just changing how she was looking. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it was hurtful to me, and I'm a dude. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I ain't trying to hear all this other stuff you saying. If you don't think I love you, then I can start working, and then we can live in outside in the backyard, and then you gonna have to be happy with that. It was.
Why are you looking at me like that? Like I told you that.
We was up in there. That was a hard one. I ain't know what to say. I was like, dude, you not right. You not right about that. And he argued with me. And he was like, you a dude. I know you this, that, and the other. I'm just man enough to say it, and you just ain't. And it was. I promise you, it wasn't. Let me tell you something, guys. Now, I know I don't have the only woman in the world who do not care about money. And let me explain to you when I tell you that. My wife does not care. If she got to pick her top 5 things in the world, I can guarantee you none of them are money. None of them. If you don't take time to spend with your family, you can make all the money and invest in all the money in the world, and you can come home to an empty house. If you are blessed enough to have a wife to open her mouth and tell you what she wants, you have to listen and you have to try to give her what she wants. You can't think you replacing what she wants, the love, the affection, the touching, the spending time, the talking, with dollars. It ain't gonna work. And what you gonna mess around and do, and you gonna walk up in there and somebody else gonna be sitting in your house and spending your money and touching and communicating and doing all that stuff with you, right? Then you want to kill everybody in the house.
Well, I was gonna say that's about to be a murder scene.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
that's what can't happen. So you have to really look at what finance and money is in a person's life. This is what I always say. I heard this saying somewhere, I cannot remember, but
You probably heard me say it.
I'm sure I didn't. Anyway,
What was it?
it was the it has something to do with value. Why I can't remember. The value and the worth is not in the money. The dollars, the money is a byproduct of the actual person and what you produce. Which means if you're valuable enough and smart enough to make the money, to create, to do what you have to do to get the money, then it has nothing to do with the money. It's the byproduct. It's what you can do. So if you're smart enough to be a producer, or you smart enough to write books, or you doing whatever, or you take the chance and you do these things, it's a byproduct. You got people who are millionaires and then they do bankruptcy and then they become millionaires again. The reason they can do that is because the stuff that their value and their worth is inside of them. So they know how to come back out and do that again. The money is the byproduct of it. Somebody with some paper told us that. I cannot
Really?
remember.
I can't remember who.
Somebody
that
with
is.
some paper told us that. Somebody who was rich. Something.
Who was wealthy?
Yeah. Something else they told me. They said people who have money don't look at their checking account every day.
I do remember somebody told us that. Yeah.
He said
I do
you
remember.
get comfortable enough, and he said it has nothing to do with how much money you have. It has to do with the that you've been exposed to knowing how valuable you are.
I can't remember who told us that.
I
I
can't remember who told us that
Yeah.
either. But whoever they
We
were,
need
they
to
had
think
some
about
paper.
it. Yeah.
They had some paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And we've been in spots and in places and in seasons of our marriage where we didn't have to look at the account. We
we
didn't.
wasn't being smart with the money either.
We weren't. We weren't. We
We
absolutely
literally
weren't.
thought the money was gonna never stop, especially when we owned them trucks and the trucking company.
Right. We
And
thought it wasn't going to
It
stop.
wasn't gonna stop.
Yeah.
Doing stupid stuff like going to lunch and buying a car and then coming back. Remember that?
Well, that was you. It was.
You
I'm gonna
always-
always say it was you, Johnny. You may as well get
You
used to
are
it
something
because
else,
I really
boy.
believe that
I'll
your name
take
was
it.
on that contract.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Hit me. I'll take the hits because
But-
I'm the man of the. I'll take the hits. I'm supposed to take the hits.
But that's the way, like you said, that's when we just had no regard for it, and we didn't handle it well, and we didn't respect it. I think that's
And
something
manage
that we respect it and manage it. We didn't, not at all. But now I'm glad that we are at a place
Jesus.
to
Do
where
you know what we? Anyway. We made some stupid money.
we did. But I'm glad that we are at a place to where we actually know we actually know how to put money in its place.
Yeah.
And we know how we're learning different ways to use it to make more money. We're
Right.
learning, different things. We actually, and this is a very transparent moment because for a long time, y'all, we were supposed to be working on our credit. We would do a lot of things, talk to a different people or different companies to get on the road to getting our credit.
Oh, that's the fix your credit.
Yeah,
people.
fix your credit. We've done that, and we're quick fix real fast, and it fixed. Maybe took a couple things off, but we never truly learned how important it was to go through the full process of, paying things off and getting our credit to a healthy place. We didn't want to commit. Our problem was we wanted good credit again, but we didn't want to commit to the process or the time that it took.
Commit
to fully, right?
We'll commit
Yeah,
some.
we would make the phone.
But
we
it
would
would
have
take too long.
We would have the phone calls with the people.
Yeah.
They would give us the accounts that we needed to call and try to make arrangements with. They would give us step-by-step instructions of what to do. But you're right. We committed, but we didn't fully commit to doing it.
And we know we didn't.
Well, no, well, you're right.
And
We
we
know
at
we
this
didn't.
time, by this time, we was all in a relationship with Jesus, and we was like, the Lord is gonna, he gonna bless us, and he gonna take us through. Accelerated, Jesus,
But
accelerated.
hello, here's something for you, saints. We were not doing what we needed to do
We did
financially.
not.
We didn't do it.
We did not.
And God ain't gonna bless no mess. And
He
that
does
might
not.
sound real cliche-ish, but until we got our heads on straight and really listened to somebody who was saying, listen, this is what we need to do. This is how I can help you with your credit. But this is what I need. I need full commitment. I'm going to give you pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, however you want to label it. This is what I need you to do. And we did that, and that was when in our first steps when we started
And
to
we
owning
did
a
that
home.
for how long?
We did that for it started us, but the thing about that is we kept doing it.
Yeah, because
That
we didn't.
was
We was not told what the process was going to be. A couple of things that was said was, you do this for this amount of time, and then
This will be the result.
Yeah. Then that time came
Yeah.
and passed, and then
we need you to do something else for this amount of time.
Then that time came, and then that time passed,
Yeah.
and then they came out, and we was looking at houses, and we was so. I'm gonna
But
tell
our
you,
credit was getting better.
our credit was getting
Yeah.
better. But I'm gonna tell you, I really believe that was God doing those things because
It kept us consistent.
He knew how to keep us motivated.
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't when we was doing it before. We never was to that point where we were actually going out with a realtor looking at homes.
Right.
And I'm talking about crazy homes on the farms, all kind of stuff.
Homes by the lake.
Yeah, just all kind of stuff. And they was like, yeah, you can get this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, all right. And I think that was, I really truly believe that was God ordained.
Yeah, that
Because-
was our motivation.
yeah, it
because
was
we
God
saw,
ordained.
We saw that, okay, this finance company, they're saying do this, do that, do this, do that, and in this amount of time, we can approve you for this amount of house.
Yeah.
And we put forth the steps. We made sure that we were paying things on time, and we made sure that we were staying on top of things and not spending frivolously. Oh, you like that word? I said it, and
You said it right.
I
the
normally
first
mess it
time.
up, right?
You right.
I normally mess
You
it
good.
up.
You
And
ain't
so-
helped me. I would have helped you with your word.
Babe,
But you
I
ain't
did
helped me.
help you.
Go
I
ahead.
helped
Stay
you all
on
the
point.
time.
Stay
Okay,
focused.
stay
Stay
focused.
focused.
So we were very. I'm gonna give you. I know
gotta
we
give you a
supposed
high
to be
five,
socially
too.
distancing, but I'm gonna give you a high five because we
We supposed to be
stayed,
socially distancing.
cause Rona. But we'll say something about that. At
Oh,
the
because
end.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
what that supposed to mean?
Well-
We finna get in the bed together.
Right, not me and you socially distancing, baby.
Oh,
because
you talking about
we will
something
never,
else.
We will never
Oh,
socially distance.
You got to be more specific because
okay.
you finna have me turn
Messed
this
up?
mic off and
No,
we finna talk.
No,
You
we
talking
gonna
about
keep
socially
We
distancing.
gonna keep the mic on, baby. We're real raw and uncut. Okay, so anyway, let me focus. But at that time, that focused us on what we needed to do because we matured really quick. We knew that we were at this point and that we had grown up a lot and like, okay, we want this. I think this was something, a goal that we both were fixed on.
Yeah.
Like we want this, and then when it didn't happen, although I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I cried because I thought we was gonna get us a house.
Yeah, it was.
But we just all we did was just refocus. We was like, okay, God, what's the lesson in this?
And we didn't mess
didn't
up. We
blame.
ain't go and spend a
Right.
whole lot of
We
money.
didn't blame
we
each
ain't
other.
took no trip.
Exactly.
We ain't did none of that stuff. We stayed on the course. And here's the thing: once we was doing what we was doing, we stayed on the course, and we just basically confided in God and said, "Hey, okay, so we here. I know we supposed to have the good stuff. I know we supposed to have the great stuff. I know you have that stuff for us.
Yeah.
I know you do.
Yeah, but he had to change our mindset.
Yeah,
and get
it
us
was
focused
completely changed.
on doing what we needed to do to get our credit to a healthy place, doing what we needed to do to commit to being financially mature and responsible.
And you can't do that in 6 months.
Yeah.
And you can't do that
Yeah.
with somebody telling you you got 3 weeks and then you do this and then this happens. This has to be something. Remember what we talked about. In our last session, we talked about the gateways and we talked about processes. And we always come back to the process. Processes are different for everybody. So our process here, although it seemed like it took a long time, we've been going through different processes pretty much our whole life.
Right.
When it comes to finances. And we never quite got but it's because we never fully committed.
Yeah.
This time we fully committed, and it's a little over 2 years since we've been doing this, and now we're not buying a house, we building a house.
Yeah. That's the difference.
That's the complete difference. So
God honored the fact that we became committed, that we became focused on first Him, but then making sure that, okay, we knew that we had grown spiritually. We know we had matured spiritually, but we started going to the gym together. So we knew that all these things were in place in our life, but financially we wanted to be mature. We wanted to grow up in that area. And I know that he saw our strides. He ordained our strides. And at the end, it seemed like it wasn't, it was a victory that we both could really truly say thank you, God, that it was nobody but you who allowed the setbacks, who allowed the setups, who allowed the lessons. They weren't losses, they were lessons, but we learned from it, we grew from it. We didn't, even though we were, as they say, hurt by it. We were hurt. We
wasn't mad.
We
was just hurt and tight.
Mm-hmm.
We've been, living life, man. You go through a lot of stuff and you get hurt a lot. So, we was at that point that we was there, but
we want to win.
The one thing that we said was, I was like, God, we can't go back to the wilderness, because we done been in this wilderness more than 40 days, 40 nights. We done been here some years, a couple of centuries. So what needs to happen now is we want to come out. And we got to a place to where we said, even if we don't get the house, we gonna do this because this honors you and who we are.
Yeah.
We are your kids, we are your sons, so we want to represent you in every area of our life. So we did what we needed to do to do that.
To be excellent.
So the focus went off of the stuff, it went on Him.
Yeah.
So once we put it on Him, He added
the rest to it. Yeah.
He just added. We just kept walking.
Yeah.
So, it's, and we don't want to make it sound like it's a magical and
y'all, it ain't magical. I'm telling y'all. It's a process.
Your life,
else.
Yeah. And we talking about your life too. Your life, what y'all in, where y'all are now, the stuff you're going through, whatever it is, it's real.
Yeah.
It's real, and we serve a real God who can help. Yeah. He can really, really help. But you have to do your part. He's not a magician. He's a miracle worker. So you have to do your part, which means He don't want you around here sitting around and just being ignorant to everything. He wants you to learn. He wants you to be smart, be wise, make the decisions, and do the stuff.
And reach out for help if you don't
do
know.
Do the stuff.
People.
Ask. It's people in this
that's
world
what they
that
do. They money
help
managers.
You.
They they can help with your credit the right way, and not just send them $1,000 and they can wipe everything off and you magically got
And
good
you looking
credit.
at them like, Joker, we here because we in financial issue. Where we get $1,000 from?
We ain't got it.
Look, that's what we should have said when we done give all that other money away. But we ain't did that this time. We worked it the right way. So it's gonna take time.
And we're seeing the fruits of our labor.
Yeah, it's gonna take time because the maturity has to happen. It's almost like you having a 3-year-old kid and you giving them a Ferrari. They can't drive it. They're not mature enough to know what it is, to take care of it. So that's how God would do you, and it don't matter how old you are.
You want a Ferrari, baby?
No, I don't want a Ferrari.
You use that in a lot of examples.
No, I actually said Bugatti.
Speed. Oh, well, this time it's a Ferrari. You want a fast car? You want a fast car? Listen, I do want to share with them. I know I just got way off track with that one, y'all. I'm sorry. But listen, so we're going to tell y'all a very pivotal point in our marriage that kind of turned our light on. It didn't turn us all the way to, I think it maybe began the process of us kind of being aware that we needed to be a little more financially aware of what we were doing. We had a meeting we were going through, I think you had just gotten laid off. And I was working.
Oh, this was
and
definitely,
this was
definitely
when you were and I told you you wanted to start a nonprofit with your friend. And so I was like, baby, go full force. I got it. I'm working. You'll get your unemployment checks. Y'all can go full force with us getting this up and running. And so I'm encouraging him in this, y'all. And this goes back to not communicating effectively or not being fully not fully right, not being fully transparent about what's going on, and you trying to. I was trying. So let me tell y'all versus trying to tell y'all what not to do. At that point, I did encourage him, and they got the nonprofit up, and we were doing things to put forth.
We was at Chatham County schools.
The nonprofits. They
3 schools.
were in a couple of the Chatham County schools doing mentoring and
for the entire day
for the kids, him and his partner and stuff like that. So I'm the cheerleader. Go baby, go! We getting it together, and we gonna do the summer camp, and we just had all these things going on,
summer
y'all.
Camp.
I was like, go! But on the back end, y'all. And in the meantime, in between time, I was over here making them arrangements, y'all, that I talked about that he could not stand. But I was trying to get him focused so much so on them building up this nonprofit that I was saying, baby, you go ahead and handle that. Don't worry about nothing. I got the bills, I got the this, I got the that. Don't worry about it. We good. When in all actuality, we were barely getting by. Because they were, just starting up the nonprofit. So we didn't have any grants. We didn't have, all this good stuff coming in. It was solely his unemployment and the money that I was bringing in from my check. And so we went to, but even in that space, we had the relationship was good. We weren't bickering, we weren't arguing.
But here's the thing.
I knew you didn't go crazy.
The relationship. And this is your relationship, if you when something's not right.
Yeah. But I was pushing you so much.
You was pushing me, and that was the first time in our relationship, in our life, that I've ever focused on something else that much.
Right.
Because it's nothing never came before y'all. Ever. So that was the first time I was able to focus on that one thing, and it felt great. It felt great. We was making leaps and bounds. We were getting into schools, and we was doing all that stuff.
But I wanted that for you.
Yeah, but
I did until I neglected to realize what was going on.
Yeah.
And so fast forward to can I go to the conversation?
To the meeting, yeah.
Okay, so we have a conversation.
And this was a conversation it was not inspired by us.
Right.
It was inspired by friends of ours.
That we were in the conversation with.
So they told us in the office.
Right, and we were having a conversation. We were having a conversation, y'all, and they were checking on us.
Yeah,
is what they were doing.
They still check on us.
Right, that's what it was. They were checking on us.
This is what they always say. And how's it going? Yeah, how are you?
And we'll be like, oh, we're okay. We're good. Everything's good. We're getting stuff together. Everything, and they'll be like, how y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing?
Now, at this point now, me being a man, I'm not really, I know something going on. I don't know what it is, but I know we need to talk about something. Don't know where to start. The feelings are there, and if I ask her, she going to tell me, no, we good.
We good, because I was telling you we were
that's
good.
What I want. That's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be good, but I knew it wasn't good.
Right.
So I said, if we just... I'm doing the good work. I'm helping these kids.
And you gonna bless
it. And the Lord looking like, boy, you better go get you a job that pay you some money. But I ain't listen. So we doing. So this is what he said.
The gentleman says to me.
He said, I'm going to ask you a question. And it went from 0 to I don't know how fast. And made the entire room uncomfortable. He said, Deirdra.
He asked me, y'all.
Do you feel financially
secure?
And it sucked the room out. And I got ready to say something. That joker pointed his finger and told me to hush. Ain't even looked at me.
He said, I'm not
talking to you, Johnny.
He said,
so I'm looking at Deirdra. I'm like, all right,
said,
she got me. She got me. She ain't finna let us. She ain't finna let us go like
Deirdra, that. Are you financially secure in this marriage? And y'all, I sat there and I said, no, sir. And I didn't even look at Johnny, y'all, but I could feel the fire coming from his nostrils. He was done. I think he checked out at that moment when I said that.
Oh
And
God.
but the reality of it was I was completely honest because I could not lie to this man.
Yeah.
I could not lie to this man because we respected them just, and we still do, that just that much that I couldn't lie.
And this the thing. I know a lot of people's probably saying, "Well, how couldn't you lie to him, but you was lying to your husband?" But she didn't see it as lying. She saw it as protecting me and helping me live my dream.
It was what they say,
So-
a lie of omission.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I always need to know the truth from her because she's my rib. So if we live in life together and I go out on whatever because of my vision of doing things and then I go out too far, I'm always expecting her to pull me back if I get too far out there. For all the reasons. You get too far out there, you get too far away from us. You get too far out there, the money ain't right now, baby. You get too far out there, we can't do that right now. That's what I need to hear. Don't mean my dreams or my visions can't come true. That just means it's a time for it. Deirdra is my, I don't want,
I'm your anchor, baby. No, I'm just
I would
playing.
say a navigator. God is the director. He gives me the visions, and he gives me the vision to go and do stuff. And she's the navigator. She's like,
guess that
okay,
would be the word. Okay,
we can do that, but
Let me
let's
map it
build.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do this
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
And I listen to that.
Yeah.
So when that actually happened, I was hurt. Not because
He was hurt. He was mad.
I was hurt
He was
because
angry. He
I
wanted to
felt
put a
like
pin in, stick a pin in my
this
neck.
is a vulnerable moment in our relationship,
It
and
really
we out
was.
here naked
And she
in the
uncovered
Garden of
me.
Eden. And
She
Jesus came out and said,
she uncovered me.
Jesus come out here and said, "Where y'all at?" And she talking about, "We over here naked." And I'm like, what you telling him that for? What you doing?
Y'all would have thought that I took
Oh,
a
it
butcher
was a
knife
gut
and,
punch,
star-
man.
and
It was a
stabbed
gut
Johnny
punch.
in his throat.
It was a gut
It
punch.
was, but the
But-
one thing that his wife said to us, she was very encouraging because she said she understood that that's something that was always a dream of yours to do, and that that it was a great idea. It was a great organization. It was going to be something great, but was it the time now? She said, because the blessings of the Lord maketh one rich and adds no sorrow to it.
Yep.
And I had heard that scripture before, but never quite like that.
And we was happy in the beginning because we was all right.
We was all right, but when I tell y'all, they checked us real nice, and it wasn't even a check like, how dare you say that to me? It was a check like, oh man.
It was like, that check when you get your shoulder shook and then slap, wake up, man, wake up. And that's what it was.
But on the ride home, Johnny said, so y'all, he was low key nasty. He was because he was mad. He was like, so so you're not financially secure? Y'all, I thought he was gonna beat me. Oh, Jesus. Y'all,
That
and I
never crossed
know
my
that
mind,
I
but-
know it ain't, but y'all, he was just so hurt. But
That
like
was
I
a
said,
hurt.
there are pivotal moments in your life
Let me
when
tell
you
you,
know
man.
that God sends people to just kind of slap you up real quick. Like, y'all, this is a phenomenal idea, a phenomenal organization that it can be and flourish and all this, but maybe now is not the time to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what that makes me think about is when we got the news about the house that first time. That was a moment where we didn't want, felt like a gut punch. But we knew that delay was not denial.
Yeah, it's moments in your life, and we talked about this before. There's moments to where everything seems flawless and easy. Mm-hmm. That you can get from point A to point B quick with no hesitation, nothing touching you. You just go from here 0 to 100, and you like, okay, we good, we moving it, it's my time.
Yeah.
But there's other times to where God wants you to sit your tail down. I need to talk to you.
You
And
need to listen.
sometimes you don't get that, and he sits you down, but sometimes he got to punch you in your stomach. Let me take some of this air out you because you're a little too big for yourself right now. So let me just stop you where you at. Now, when this happens, I need you to listen. I need you to digest it. And then let's move from here.
Yeah.
What most people do is a situation like that happens, they get defensive.
Yeah.
And then
don't take the
anger
lesson out of it.
Yeah, and then now you go do something
Yeah.
reckless, like spend
Yeah.
a whole lot of money or do whatever. And that's the bad stuff. You have to this is a part of maturity. You have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and see yourself for who you are. You have to see your stuff. You have to see your life. You have to see it for who you are. When I look in the mirror, I got a little pudge. It's a medium pudge. It's kind of big, but it ain't no 6-pack.
How did we get there?
It ain't no 6-pack. But I got to be okay with that.
In my mind, I see it as a 6-pack.
And in my mind, I feel like it's a 6-pack.
Well, then we gonna keep working
But
until
we gonna
that
keep
happens,
working
baby.
in the gym. But this the thing.
Well, outside now.
It can't be me having a heart attack for me to understand that I have to stay in physical shape.
Good physical
I
condition.
have to do what I have to do
You
to
gotta
get in
put
physical
the work.
shape.
Yeah.
Most people, and our doctor told us that, she said, she said, the younger you are, the smaller your boat is. And you can turn that boat around, a little boat around quick in the ocean. But try turning running them cruise ships around. It's going to take you a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And in some of these ships, I done heard it take like a half a day to get turned around or something stupid like that. To get in the right direction.
I know it takes
so
a while.
you looking at seeing yourself going the wrong direction and never making a decision to make the change.
Yeah.
So, in our life right now, that's what we're doing. We make the decisions to make the change, and we're not saying, when we started the gym, it was before the New Year's. It was in November,
October.
We just went.
No, December. I'm sorry.
It was in December, but
early December.
Our plan was to start the gym. Our daughter came to us and said something about the gym, and then we said we gonna start the gym the first of the year. And then it was probably 3-4 days later, we was in the gym every day, 4:00.
Yeah.
We was getting it because we wanted to change, and there's no need to plan for you to make the change. That's saying that you plan to make a change for the future, but the plan is far away.
Well,
you
a
never
lot of
gonna
the
get to
times
that.
it never happens.
Yeah, you're not gonna get to that.
But I think the greatest thing about where we were financially, the lessons that we had to learn, the things that we had to learn, the things that we went through, and I know for a long time, you would be like, well, let me handle the money. Maybe I can, just keep a.
But if you remember, it was times in our relationships that I could handle the money at that point in time a little bit better than
absolutely.
you.
So we've
gone
back and forth. Yeah.
So
and we've done it
sometimes
together.
I just got careless, and then I was like, okay, you got to get it because I'm trying to buy Xbox games, and it can't be like that. And then sometimes you got to get it because I'm gonna pay how much I pay, $13, and then we go push this. We go push it till next. How much we owe? We owe $1,400 on the light bill, but he said we can pay $13. I'm like, why we owe 14?
Johnny listen, y'all. Johnny would ask me, babe, okay, so just give me a breakdown of what we owe. And y'all, I'll be trying not to tell him, this is what we paid the last time or whatever. But
I need to know what we owe.
I thank God. I mean, you're right. We've have
grown.
been back and forth. We've
grown, and it was. I think it was, just life and being emotionally and physically tired, going through the different things we were going through, with the kids, with the jobs, with the money, as individuals, still trying to find out who we are, still trying to find our clique with us.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Moving at all times. So once we started making some decisions, then it got different. Once you make the decisions in your life, it takes the randomness out of
it.
So there's no room for that.
Yeah.
So once you start targeting stuff, it takes the randomness out, so your time is automatically given back to you.
and we take the time now to say, because you work, crazy hours, you do your focus is there a lot. So I'm constantly giving you updates. Okay, babe, this is the balance.
Yeah.
This is what we got coming out. Because that's something that and for me, that shows up. Y'all, I've grown a whole lot because I would be even scared to even set up things to be drafted out of the account.
Yeah.
Because the account used to be overdrawn on a regular. I'm calling asking back for fees. Y'all, when I tell y'all, we've went through every season. It seems like financially, but I would be even afraid to set up something to draft out of the account because
Yeah.
I was like, oh well, ain't no need to get
It
that
might
over.
not be there.
Right, it might not be there. As my cousin said, it might not be there, but but that I can do that now and with a surety now because I just I want y'all to hear this, and I'm saying this in front of a whole bunch of people. Well, maybe not right now, but y'all gonna hear this. That, honey, I am financially secure now. I really am. I felt that in my spirit.
Well, it took you like 14 years afterwards.
Is that go get me some feel good points?
That might get you some feel good points.
Okay. However, I can say that, but like I said, I'm glad that we reached this milestone together to where we are saying, okay, if one of us see, well, we might be going out to get lunch a bit too much this week. Okay, babe. Yep, we sure are. Let's go, and I'm gonna go to the store and get some lunch meat or some salad stuff or just whatever we need to do to tweak whatever we need to tweak. Now we are looking into, okay, well, how can we save and invest on that savings or whatever. What other programs can we use? And you brought one to me that we actually, it rounds our change up and it puts it in an account so where we're saving and they somehow invested as well. So we're looking at doing better with our money because I think we've said it on another earlier episode that we're building a home. So now we really are looking at we really do pay attention, especially in these last couple of years, like, okay, what are we doing? What are we putting our money towards? What are we planning for? What do we have to get for the house? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're thinking more of legacy building now because we do, have all these kids, y'all, and we got already 5 grandbabies, as y'all know from previous episodes. But I'm just real proud of us. I really, really am because that was a real big struggle area for us. Because like you said, there were times when we had thousands a week, and there was time we both were jobless for that month. You remember that?
Yeah.
We had a small trucking company, and we were up under a larger company, and that was during the time when the war started. And so all the boys were like, the gentlemen were parking their trucks because diesel was out of the Watusi.
I remember when diesel was like 98 cents at one time.
Yeah.
I don't know how it, like, you blink your eyes and it was like
jumped
almost
up.
$4.
Yeah, and so at that point, Johnny went from driving a truck for this particular company. Well, it was our truck, but he went from driving, getting his work through that company, and into owning it. That happened with like in a few days' time because the owner of the company was ready to retire. Well, that had a whole bunch to go with it, y'all. We'll get into that another time. But so he was actually, we became owners, and I left my job with the state because there was some funky stuff going on, and we worked together for about a month. We had one employee that worked in the office, and we worked together for about a month before we ended up having to make that decision. Well, no, it was a few months that we worked together. Yeah, it was a good little bit that we worked together, and then we ended up having to close it because of the things happening because the war started. Yeah. But I know where I got that month from because for a month we were out of money. Yeah. I'm talking about no paychecks coming in, no nothing coming in, but we thank God for him, for God, and for our families because we lived really good for that month, like better than we had. Well, even when we had paychecks coming in.
And I guarantee every last one of y'all got a story like that.
Listen.
If you don't think,
if
you don't believe in God, if you don't think He ain't there,
man, He's Jireh, provider.
Look at them times. Look at them times. I guarantee y'all got a story. It might not even be that big. But you got a story when you shouldn't have had, but you had. Yeah. You kind of had a little bit more than what you should have had. but he was
But
there.
God, yeah,
He was
yeah.
there. So,
So
I know y'all probably thought this financial session was gonna be about us giving y'all some numbers and all that stuff. And I'm still hoping you got your pen and paper and y'all took some notes because
yeah.
it was some stuff in there that you could have
So as
jotted
for
down.
as I think we started when we first started this episode, we talked about if you're even before marriage, if you with somebody and y'all
So
planning on being long
let's
term.
talk about real quick what we did with our daughters when it came to money. So, like I said, my
Yeah.
parents, you know, they didn't really tell me about the credit and everything. I kind of figured it out. And Deidre told you a story on her parents. So when our side came, we were one of the things we always instill in our daughters were to be ladies and then make great choices. We still tell them that till this day. So, and the great choices literally means, and when you make a choice, you investing in something for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you make a decision that's going to better you. Regardless of what that is, you make
Yeah.
a decision that's going to better you. Now, it's going to be some decisions you're going to make that's going to make you feel good or make you look good or whatever the case is. But you always want to invest in those things that are going to make you better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they do. From here with the money, with their money they save. I
But
put
then we started. But
goals.
remember, we started them, and I think it started like one time during Christmas time, and everybody got them a check written to them.
Yeah.
It was either for 50. I think it may have been for like $50 a piece, and of course you wasn't going to the mall with them.
No,
Um,
I wasn't.
and you didn't.
I don't.
You was like, okay, babe, write their checks, and so everybody got their $50 check, and we took them to the bank. Well, excuse me, I took them to the bank because Daddy wasn't going to the mall with all them. His patience wasn't that long, but we they were able to go to the bank and see what it was to cash a check and then go to the mall. And you always have that one who want to go buy the most expensive shirt or the most expensive pants or dress or whatever it is. But I had to physically show them, like, okay, so you can get this one pair of pants, for you can get this one outfit that's going to cost you $50, or you can go to the sale rack and you can find 3-4 outfits for those $50. Which one are you, which one do you want? And of course they wanted the more of the outfits other than just that one outfit. So even in that was our lesson as we began to
Yeah.
mature in that area. Because 9 times out of 10 kids are going to learn in practical ways by seeing it.
Yeah,
And that's how we began to show them.
and that's how at that time that's how we literally shop.
Yeah.
We paid attention. At that time we
Yeah.
was on it. So
Yeah.
we paying attention of what we getting, what we really need versus what we want, different things like that. So when it was time for them to do, I'm gonna tell y'all something. The only thing that we did was take our kids with us, what most of y'all do, and then we talked them through what we were doing.
Yeah, but
That's what we did.
A lot of their life lessons and a lot of the things that they've learned, especially when it comes to finances and all that stuff, is because we didn't hide things from
We
them.
didn't. Not nothing.
We didn't, and we are in no way perfect because we've lost vehicles, and like Johnny said, he came home, the cable was off. He's come home, the lights have been off.
I came home and I told her
And we had
with a Colt 45
candlelight
in my
dinner.
hand, and I said, "Hey, I got some good news and bad news." She said, "What's the good news?" I said, "The bad news is I lost my job. I quit today." And she said,
Yeah.
"Well, what the good news?"
Yeah.
The good news is I got
I
another
got another
job
job
and I
that I
start
start
tomorrow. So your boy
Y'all-
I was on the grind. I'm telling you.
I got that story more than one time.
I was on the grind because what you ain't finna do is talk to me crazy at these jobs. That ain't what you about to do anyway.
And that was
I was young.
But let me tell you something. You always got to look for the silver lining in every single storm. The silver lining, and that was that every time, and I would never forget because it would always happen in the same exact way. It was like living that same day over and over again, y'all. I'm serious, because he would come home with a Colt 45 in his hand, and he'll be like, "Babe," and I'd be like, "Yeah, hey, babe. Okay, so I got some good news and I got some bad news. Which one you want first? Okay, give me the bad, baby. Well, I quit my job today. All right. And what's the good news? Well, the good news is I start my new job tomorrow. Well, all right then, girl. Everything was all right in my world. Now, y'all might have looked at it, they had a different outlook on that, but try to find the pull. I'm believing that the glasses half empty versus half full. I'm sorry, that the glasses half full versus half empty. Because in that moment, I could have focused on the fact that this Negro quit his job. However, he had a plan because he came home with another job. So guess what?
Yeah.
He got good dinner, good loving, and everything because he was starting his new job the next day.
Cause I look, I ain't crazy. If I ain't had another job, I wasn't coming home till I had one.
Exactly.
Cause I got
As
all
long
them
as he knew
babies
what
there
it
to
was.
feed. So
Yeah.
I hope this helped in a way. We gonna always be transparent and real with y'all. We've grown up and we've gone through stuff. You know, just like we said, we're an ordinary couple, but every couple, every person has an extraordinary purpose.
Yeah.
So where we are now, we're just knowing and believing in that. So that's why we're doing what we're doing now. That's why
Yeah.
we're sharing our life, because a lot of people think they're the only people that go through stuff.
Yeah.
And that's not true.
Yeah.
It's so not true. And it don't make us perfect. You know, our relationship with God ain't perfect. You know, none of the stuff that we do is perfect. But the one thing that I can say that we do, we make decisions and then we stick to them. When we
Yeah.
made the decision, through our entire story from when we began this to probably to the day we end, you will always see we started once everything changed. The catalyst for everything changing is us making a decision
Yeah.
and sticking with it.
And making a good decision.
We're not getting
It's
a
a
divorce.
choice.
We're
Yeah.
not getting a divorce.
Yeah.
We're not separating. Ain't nobody sleeping in no other bed. We gonna go in the room. If I'm mad with you, we got a lot of rooms in this house. Go lock up in one for a little while and then come on out. If you don't, I'm gonna break the door down. I'm coming in there and get you. But you don't leave emotionally mad with the person you live with.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like I said, I'm just, what they say, they got to speak over yourself and celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
We celebrating because with the good decisions, you reap what you sow. And we believe
Absolutely.
that for a long time. So
Absolutely.
when we were making bad decisions about our money, y'all think we were sowing, we were reaping good stuff?
Nothing.
Absolutely not. And so that's why we're here to say it. The conversations that we didn't know that we needed to have them, especially if you're not married yet, or if you're newly married, or even if you're deep into marriage.
Yeah.
And nothing's going to change if you don't put forth the effort to talk about it, to change it. If you don't know how to change it, seek out somebody that can help you change it. Seek out somebody who can help you, make a budget and stick to it, or to mediate while you and your spouse talk about, who's going to handle the money. And I think one thing that we didn't share is, I know a lot of people say, well, oh, he got his money and I got my money. Boo, it's one account over here.
Yeah, we
popping
ain't
over
talking
here.
about
we
the
ain't
bank.
right.
We might have to come back and talk about
We
that.
might have to do that.
That's a
but
good
we have
thing.
one. We do. Because we believe that we are one. We practice separation or separate in no parts of our marriage, because that's not what we want. We don't want separation. We want unity. We want oneness.
In every area
right,
of our
agreement
life.
in every area of our life. That may not work for you, but it works for us.
And this is what I wanted. The gateway, what we talked about before, the gateway. When the gateway is there, scenario, you and your spouse, y'all having issues, y'all having trouble, you get upset, you get mad, whatever the case is, and you want to leave, but it's a big blow up, and you don't want to go back. Well, you got a whole $10,000 over here in your checking account. You just gone for a week. You just chilling. I show her, or I show him, or whatever. And so you leaving a big wide door open.
For foolishness.
This is when you have a plan B already set, you'll never stick to the plan A.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that again. If you've already got a plan B ready, you're not gonna ever stick to the plan A. which means you're not going to fulfill the fullness, the whole potential of what that plan A is supposed to be. So you'll never get the results that you're supposed to get. We always had a plan B before. We ain't got no plan B now.
We just know that we want great results.
That's it.
So we try to sow as much as possible. We try to sow good seed because we want a great harvest. And you tell us that all the time. Make great choices today.
Make great choices.
Make great choices. Well, do we always make them? No. Sometimes we fall. But that's where the God's hand reaches out and grabs us and pulls us back up or pulls our tongue back in or whatever needs to be pulled back together.
Yeah.
But we're intentionally making great choices because we want a great and bountiful harvest.
Absolutely.
Point blank period. Because our lives are not our own. Because we want to represent God in everything that we do. In every area of our life, we want the excellence of Him on it, and to exude from it. And so that's all we're saying, guys. We do with this day by day, minute by minute, second by second, hour by hour, day by day, week by week, month by month. We intentionally sow good seeds and into our marriage, most importantly into our marriage. And that's what we're doing.
It's not easy all the time, and it's not perfect, and it's not the right choices all the time. But this is the one thing we try not to do. We really try not to make the wrong choices knowing that we're making the wrong choices.
Yeah. And then keep on making them.
If we make a wrong choice, we really
That's a decision at that point.
So it's like, and then we try not to make that decision again. So we really put forth effort. The only way you can get the full potential out your marriage is that you live as one.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I know that we both feel very strongly about this now, that we are building a legacy, because we don't want, even though our children are in their 20s, our grandbabies are smaller, but we want to be able to, leave them a rich legacy.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing, y'all. That's all we're doing.
And the legacy is within us and us sharing with them.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Everything else is the byproduct of it. So we pour in, we impart, we teach as much as possible. We show them, we share, we show examples. The entire everything, the entire package, and it helps
just
us.
living.
It helps us to
they
stay.
See,
because. Not even just our kids. We got a lot of people that look at us. People we know and people we don't know.
Yeah. But I think the one thing that really truly motivates us is that we just want God, and we want His glory, His hand on our lives, and so it's about pleasing Him. And so He gets glory from our life.
The greatest thing about that is we're comfortable with who we are, meaning. If God created me like this, hey, I don't know what to tell everybody else.
We can only be the best version.
Yeah, I don't know
what
to tell everybody else. The way I am, the way I handle stuff, the way I do everything. I'm not, we're not crazy, we're not dumb, we're not none of that stuff. But He created us.
He did.
So I'm gonna be the best version of the Johnny He created me to be.
Mobley Jr.
Yeah. I want to be the best version of the Johnny God created me to be, not the Johnny that I've been taught and kind of trained to kind of be. I have to be the best Johnny that God created me to be.
Yeah, and in actuality, that's all of us.
Yeah.
So we could talk about Jesus all night, y'all, but we gonna wrap this up, and we're gonna say, guess what? If you're not making sound financial decisions, if you know you need to turn some things around, if you know you need to work on your credit or whatever it is, just do it.
Do it.
Like Nike says, just do it. That's it.
Stop playing with it. Stop doing it. Just do it. If you need help, it's people, it's resources that can help you. If we need to put it out there, then you guys email us. Just let us know. As a matter of fact, we'll get the media and everybody. We'll get some stuff out there for you to just look at and go. Because
Moments with the Mobleys at gmail.com.
We want the best. A lot of times resources are out here for folk. the folk don't want it.
And because you don't know, you don't reach out to look for it.
Yeah, and
So-
and don't look for the easy. Don't look for the you give me $120 and I clear your credit. That's a lie. They can't do that.
Yeah, well, I think it was more than $120.
Yeah,
But it's okay.
They can't clear your credit. They can't clear your credit.
Okay, guys. Well, we thank you so much
Did you just rush me just now?
for hanging with us tonight.
With something else, boy.
I know. I'm your something else, though. So we're going to go. But like I said, it's all about communication, conversations. Have those conversations.
And
Yeah, he can be real fine, but what if his credit jacked up? All the way up.
and he driving your car all the time.
Yeah. Come on, sis. You need to find out what's going
He
on.
want to take you out, but he needs you to come get him.
And same thing with her. Find out what's going on with that credit.
She wants you to take her out, but she needs you to pay
She
for
can
her
be
hair to get
fine,
fixed
but
first.
all that finance she got going on, no money in the bank, and she can't keep none.
Have the
'Cause
conversation.
She has absolutely no reasoning behind what she's spending or why she's spending it.
Have the conversation.
That's all
I
we're
will
saying.
push it to even say
Let me get
when
your
you
social.
got the feelings. Yeah, so
check the credit.
When you got the feelings, but don't know the words to put them in, write them down. Say whatever, however it needs to do. That's the biggest part of communication. People always assume that the person's going to receive them a certain way, and you never know. You don't have the words to say. You don't know how to say it. Like my boo-boo used to do. She didn't know how to say it, so she just used to cry.
I wrote a letter eventually, sir.
Yeah, but it was like 2 years later, and I don't remember what we
Okay,
talked
guys,
about.
we love y'all so much. We love y'all so much, and we thank y'all for hanging
Thank
out
y'all
with
for
us.
hanging out with us. It's
We have
Pillow
been
Talk.
truly long-winded.
Moments with the Mobleys.
A lot of moments with the Mobleys. Who are you?
Johnny Mobley Jr. And you,
Deirdra Mobley.
Junior.
Still your wife
Still my wife.
Yeah.
And we're an ordinary couple.
with extraordinary purpose.
We gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.
Night, night.